Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a first-person RPG set in the 15th century in the Kingdom of Bohemia, the region that we know today as the Czech Republic. It follows the story of Henry of Skalitz. And you know, I'm a simple man. I like medieval stuff. I really wanted to try it, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not. I didn't get to play the first one. The combat seemed peculiar to say the least, and overall, I'm not used to these first-person view type of game, but I ended up getting the game. And in this video, I'll tell you the things that I liked, the things that I didn't, and ultimately answer the question, is it worth it? Is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as good as they say? A spoiler alert, yes, it is. But it also has some major flaws for me. We're gonna start off talking about something that I liked, and it's the entire atmosphere. When I say atmosphere, I'm not referring to just the environment. I mean everything. The music, the towns, the settings, the NPCs, the clothing and weapons, everything fits incredibly well. This is an extremely realistic medieval setting, and the characters also feel like actual people who lived in the 1400s. The way that they behave, how they speak, the things that they do, their beliefs and culture. You can freaking learn about feudalism and arts through actual information in books. How cool is that? It's top notch. It is grounded and full of realism everywhere. Actually, it is so realistic for me that this game was brutal at the start. I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but damn. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 felt like a survival game for me. I easily spent 30 hours just getting to know the mechanics of the game and getting familiar with them. And even after, I still have some questions of how some things might work. This game is super realistic and it was super hard for me. I mean it. This game realism goes as far as needing to watch yourself because humans can smell you and will react to your scent. So in case you were hiding, trying to steal something, or sneaking on someone, they can recognize the smell and ruin your plan. I think only Red Dead 2 had that. But in this game, it is a core mechanic, because here, your appearance matters, and it matters a lot. It can literally be the difference between getting away with charisma on a mission or getting humiliated in front of all the village. It doesn't matter if you're a renowned king, if you're dressed like a beggar, people will treat you like a beggar. The mechanics KCD2 has are some of the most confusing and cool mechanics I've seen. You can play all the missions and wander around the world depending on the way that you want to approach it. For example, there's this thing called reputation, and it will essentially be affected by all your actions in the game. In my entire playthrough, I tried being an honorable man, and I went for a good reputation that forced me to treat the civilians in a good way, take showers regularly, wear a good outfit, avoiding any conflict I might encounter. If I needed an object, I had to go and buy the object. Thus, I had to do honorable deeds, go hunting, smithing, and then sell the items that I got. The fights here are ruthless and cruel. I have mixed opinions on the combat system itself. I'll talk more on that later. But the fights themselves are intense as hell. You can start with shining armor and end up full of blood, dirt, and mud all over your body. Every single blow and every single block count, because you have stamina and you have to strategize your attacks. You cannot just mindlessly swing your sword. You're gonna die a lot. You need to wait for the perfect moment to attack, block the enemies, and even have a plan before attacking. Because even the simplest fight with the most basic bandits can turn into a massacre against you, if you're not prepared and ready for it. If they hurt you, it's not like you can just drink a potion and you're good to go. You need to get some medicine, some bandages to heal your wounds, get some rest, get some food. And once you're good to go, you also need to clean your armor and weapons to be presentable in the eyes of society. Because don't forget it, charisma matters here. If you want to avoid fighting, you can also try to be more sneaky and have a ninja approach. It's up to you and you will gain some experience in the field that you choose to master. Instead of fighting an entire horde of bandits, I could also just sneak through the guards and steal the item I wanted. I could have poured some poison into their food and let them die. If I had lost some money playing dice at a tavern, I could have gone to the house of the same person and steal the money that I just lost playing against them. The way that you play and how you complete missions is entirely up to you. And you would be surprised in how many ways you can progress the game. I'm not gonna get into any spoilers here, but there's this one mission in the game that revolves around the ringing of a bell. You have a limited time to accomplish your goal, and literally zero idea on how to do it. That quest was amazing. The anxiety and freedom that you get in that specific part is awesome. The missions also are super deep. The missions here start in an A, and if you want to complete them, some can even go to the freaking K. There's that many objectives. Missions can sometimes be realistic in the sense that you just go talking from person to person to get information, and I have some mixed opinions on that. Because it does feel right for the type of the game that we're playing, but I also think some missions are super long and not that interesting, even to the point of feeling boring. Especially when you have to traverse all the map on foot like I did, because I didn't have a horse for a big chunk of the game. Like I said, I was poor and I didn't want to steal anything and ruin my reputation. It also feels like most of them are the usual fetch quests of, hey, find this and bring it to me, or deliver this item. But anyways, it is what it is. Like I said, the interesting part of this game is not the mission itself, but more how you approach the objectives and decide how to solve the problem. I wouldn't precisely call this game fun, but I would describe it as engaging, because the combat might not be the best. The animations are very ugly. There aren't 20 events happening around you, but it has something that makes you keep on going. Something that makes you keep on playing and enjoying the story of Henry. Sometimes this game finds its true essence in activities that are not super entertaining, but that you can still do to immerse yourself more into this world. Like I spent a bunch of time just walking around the map to complete the missions. Something that was surprising to me is the fact that the map is not as big as I thought it would be. There are 2 regions to be explored, but they're not massive. I like that since the map is not huge, it feels as if every location was handcrafted and not recycled. If it's interesting or empty, well, that's another story and I'll mention it in the con section. But as to what design concerns, I like it. It feels very accurate for the region where it takes place. And there's a single loading screen, unless you travel between the 2 major areas. The graphics are really good, and the soundtrack that goes along with the exploration is very nice. I really enjoyed it, as well as smithing, or even brewing some potions. Every time that I needed some money, I would go back to the forge and just make some weapons to sell. It was even satisfying in a way. I like that this game also feels very original in the sense that you're a nobody. You know, you're not Geralt of Rivia, you're not Link, you're just Henry of Skalitz, a lowly commoner in the eyes of many people. You're not on a quest to fulfill a prophecy and save the world. You live in a realistic world with realistic NPCs and realistic consequences. Now, that doesn't make it a boring game. To the contrary, I think it helps to add much more weight to the characters and the plot of Kingdom Come 2. Because the story is really interesting and full of twists, romance, betrayals, and all that you could expect from medieval times. This might be a big comparison here, but it even reaches that feeling of Game of Thrones danger at times, when you're not sure if a character is gonna survive, or you don't know who you can trust anymore, because there's always that feeling of uncertainty. Moving on to the things that I didn't like about this game, we have the animations. Like I said before, this game is incredibly immersive. The graphics are really good, but whenever I speak to a character and see the animations, God, it completely takes me out of the game. I think that the mechanics such as the reputation and how the NPCs react to you are good, but apart from that, the NPCs are extremely bland. The way that they move and how they behave seem very outdated. With all due respect, animations are so bad that no matter how much emotion the voice actors give, it just feels off. I think The Witcher 3 and Red Dead 2 spoiled me. Speaking about voice acting, I think it's good, but I also noticed some voices repeated on the characters. Again, this might not sound like a big deal, but in a game as immersive as this one, it's kinda disappointing. And the performance of the game doesn't help either. There are some very noticeable frame drops and bugs here and there. I feel like they could have polished it more. For example, I especially have this in my memory where I played against the lady of the tavern, and I don't know why, but out of nowhere she changes her voice. It's so bizarre that I'll even show you the clip.
It'd be faster to play against a slug.
That was so bad and unexpected that it was funny. I do feel like some activities and missions are very repetitive and boring sometimes. I never brewed potions after learning that I could just buy them. And even though the map isn't that big, there aren't that many interesting things to find or secrets to discover. The cool things are found in the actual towns, so the lands between them are pretty much empty. The menus are a chore to get around. I genuinely think that one of the reasons that I found this game to be brutally hard at first is because the menus are super confusing and unintuitive. Also, why do I have to drink every time to save the game? Why? Why can't I just pause and save the game? You need to A, sleep, or B, drink savior snaps. But guess what? Sometimes you're out of the wild and you cannot just go back home to sleep. So then you have to drink. But drinking, as you may know, has some consequences in gameplay, and even if it didn't, what if I don't have any? Why do I have to do it? I don't know. I just wish that wasn't a thing. And finally, my last complaint that I have with this game is combat. I don't know how to feel about this one because, on one hand, I do love the difficulty it brings. And the fact that, for example, you need to learn it. It doesn't matter if you have good armor, the best weapons. If you're against a group of bandits and you try to take them all at once, you will fail. I also like that bows and pistols are not overpowered. They do require skill in aiming to land your shot. But at the same time, the melee combat feels clunky at times because you have to move your camera joystick, and if you want to switch opponents, it gets weird. I do want to say that I haven't mastered it, and I love how brutal the fights can be. So that's why I don't know how to feel about it. I like it, but I think it could be improved at the same time. Maybe with more practice, it will make more sense to me. To answer the question that we've all been waiting for. Is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 worth it? Yes. If you're looking for a brutally realistic medieval experience, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will definitely be a blast for you. Be mindful that the game can feel clunky at times, and a bit slow, but that's also something that you could be looking for. This game doesn't give you those adrenaline spikes or fantasy battles with dragons and monsters, but it gives you that grounded sensation that everything matters. An actual simulation of what life could have been back in the day, with really interesting mechanics such as a reputation system and an epic quest for revenge and survival. So yeah, that's KCD 2 for me. Have you played it, and if so, what are your thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you find it as brutal as I did? Let me know your opinion down in the comments. I'm gonna leave 2 videos for you here, one that I recommend and another one that YouTube recommends you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching. I am the Valley Knight, and I'll see you in the next video.